Hello and welcome to the series of TEDx AinleyTopWomen, the journey to TED. So today I'm joined by a very subdued, very boring looking, of course, as you can see I'm not. I'm joined by the lovely lady to my left. So who are you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm the very quiet and shy and reserved Lisa Key, and I help people to unmask their true selves, so to get really clear on who they are, what they want to do, and to be the best versions of themselves that they can be.
Brilliant. And so we're talking about the journey to TEDx AinleyTopWomen. How did you find out about the opportunity and why were you interested in doing the talk?
Well, for me, TEDx has always been quite, so I listen to TEDx's, I listen to TED Talks. So the moment that you put the information out, that the opportunity was there, for me, all sorts of things were going on and I thought, no, let's do it, let's go. Because for me as a speaker, it's a really prestigious thing to do. Mm-hmm. So I was straight away said, I've got to do this. Whatever happens, I've got to make this happen. So yeah, didn't hesitate.
Yeah, and what was the title of your talk again?
Unmasking the True You.
Brilliant. So why was it that you wanted, I think I know the answer to this, but why was it that you wanted to talk about that?
Because growing up, I had a lot of challenges and trauma as a child, and I created some amazing masks to cope, to cope with life and different things. So, and through my coaching and through working with people, I realised that there are so many of us that do. And it was really important to get my message across and share my vulnerability and say, look, this is what I'm about. And I think that there are a lot more people out there that are the same.
Definitely. And so let's just go through kind of like the process. So you've applied. Obviously, I asked people to apply to send their videos in. Was there anything at all that kind of showed up for you? I mean, it's great being a coach, I mean, we can coach anybody else, can't we? But yeah. When it's you, how do you coach yourself? Was there anything that kind of popped up as like, maybe your mind trying to get you to not do this? What showed up for you?
Oh, big time. Yeah, absolutely. So I had a little bit of the I'm not good enough come in. That came in a bit. So because it's so important, because TEDx is, a lot of people look at them, and so I knew it had to be right. Not perfect, but it had to be to a decent standard. So it did start coming up thinking, well, is this the right topic? Is this the right content? Is this exactly what I want to share? So yeah, it definitely did trigger some I'm not good enoughs coming in for me, for sure.
Yeah. And so the process was, send a video in. And then, of course, we had a situation where a lot of the videos had been produced by people like yourself and myself that had been part of the Professional Speakers Academy. And of course, there's a certain way, to speak following that process that the incredible Andy Harrington created. And at the same time, I was then like, oh, actually, this isn't really in keeping with TED, because TED's about opening ideas and sharing ideas. So then I've come back to everybody and said, I think I just need to help you to get this a little bit better. I think I've worked out what TED actually want. So then I've sort of had a little conversation with everybody. I've shared those findings, and then you've got to do another video. So then there's that piece, isn't there, just in between, am I in or am I not in? So I don't know how that was for you at that stage. But more importantly, what was it like when you realised that you were in, that I've said to you, yeah, definitely.
Oh, it was amazing. I just messaged everybody that I hadn't mentioned it to lots of people, purely because obviously we didn't know. And I knew that some of these guys know how important TEDx's are and what an impact they make for people. So I waited, and then so I was sort of in this limbo thinking, am I not, because it mattered. And yeah, so it was quite interesting to think and it wasn't about the I'm not good enough kicking in. It's more about, I know how good some of these guys are, and I really would love to be one of those speakers. So
we had a particular incident with yours, because I'm trying to remember exactly, because obviously I watched all 20 videos and I had a little bit of something to do with all the videos. But I remember, obviously your topic and your concept was yours, and then there was a thing about the masks. I can't remember if you had something in your first video, and I was like, look, here's some masks. Get some masks.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love the fact that you took the idea and then you just made it even better. Because what did you do? Do you want to share with the listeners what
Absolutely. So I'd been thinking about the masks and how it was going to work. And then when you mentioned about actually use some masks, I'd thought about it. But because of the fact that it's TEDx, it's like, should I, shouldn't I? So when you mentioned it, I thought, just do it. Just do it. So I spoke to a good friend of mine who is a face painter. So she basically, I got two, they're about the size of my hand, two very plain like card faces, totally blank. And I said, right, Jodie, this is what I'm doing. I need two masks to represent. And I went through what they were, the clown mask and then the people pleaser. And I just said, this is what it means to me. And she came back with those designs.
They were incredible. So if anybody hasn't watched your talk, obviously we're going to put the link in here, so please go and watch so you can see the incredible masks that Jodie made as well. So it's really great. And what I really love about this is, I've invited people to come and do the videos. They come with their concepts. I can see, how it can be made even better. Some suggestions, and then, the really great talks. Then, the speakers then take that and then make it, even better themselves. So by the time we've gone from like kind of A to B, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. So let's fast forward then to the 13th of December.
Yeah.
First of all, you've had to come up north.
I'm a Londoner.
I know what's going on there. So in terms of, that day, obviously arriving at the venue, actually doing the talk and then how you felt afterwards. Do you want to just talk through what that day, consisted of for you? Because you got guests in the audience, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So my mum and a couple of her friends came and they've been following me and coming to my events. So they're like my groupies. So getting to the event, it was just awesome because what happened, it was the whole day. So Neelan was with us. So there was 5 of us in the car. We had lots of fun on the way there. I didn't feel any pressure at all. I think I was at the stage where I'd practiced. It looked good and I'm going to go with it. So that's what I did and got there on the day and everybody was helping. It was such an amazing atmosphere of, right, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done. Let's all work together. We had a speaker's room, which was really cool. So we were chatting. So if anybody was thinking anything at all, we had one person who was quite unwell, other people having things done. And it was such a cool atmosphere. So I was on first after lunch. And so for lunch, everyone's like, right, you're going to have lunch? I'm like, no, because if I spill anything down my top, I'm not going to have any lunch. And I said, to be honest, I'd probably be sick right now. I said, because I'm so excited. I think something that I learned is, fear and excitement are the same for the body. So I'd really trained my mind to be, I'm excited. And I genuinely really was excited to do it.
Yeah, brilliant. And then after, so you've stood on the red dot. Don't move off the dot, otherwise you can't be on the camera.
Yeah.
And you finished, and then obviously the crowd were amazing as well. So they were really receptive and clapping. So how did you feel as you walked away thinking, I've had all these weeks of practicing and pulling this together? How did you feel then? Oh,
it was amazing. I had goosebumps absolutely everywhere. And if it wasn't for the fact that I was carrying the masks, I would have probably just done a big woohoo and jumped up in the air. But coming off, I knew I'd done well. It just felt right. If you'd have asked me what I actually said, I wouldn't have been able to tell you because I was totally in flow with what I was doing. And it was just amazing. You were there and there were lots of other speakers congratulating me. And I felt like I was walking on air. I think that's probably the easiest way to explain it. It was massive for me because it's something I watch a lot of TEDx. I always have. And now to be able to actually say, I'm a TEDx speaker, I got quite emotional at one point because it's like, wow, it's such an achievement. So yeah, it was a really good feeling, really good feeling.
Good. And then, of course, we went into Christmas, and then in the meantime, I've got lovely, Rebecca from Rap Media, sorting out the videos. And then it's like, we've got a little WhatsApp group as well, obviously, for the TEDx AinleyTopWomen. And it's like, when will these videos be out? I'm like, working on them. So sending them to TED. Obviously, TED have got very strict rules to follow.
Absolutely.
We send the videos off, and then it's like a fingers crossed, bum twitching, however many weeks, and actually they were pretty quick. You know,
I never thought it'd be that quick.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I don't know whether or not you realise. I know Caroline. I was mentioning Caroline seemed to be on alert, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, these 2 videos are up, and I think yours was one of the first.
Mine and Wendy's.
Yeah, yours and Wendy's, weren't they?
Yeah.
So there you are. You're faced with this, like your videos up on YouTube on the TEDx platform. Just talk me through what that felt like.
Oh well, it actually went live on the 3rd. And I didn't realise, and I actually lost somebody that day, somebody very close to me. So that happening, and then it was the perfect timing for me to lift. It was like, right, okay, this is brilliant. So yeah, it was amazing. I think it was the 7th, say 3 days after. And I was like, wow, there's loads of people who have actually watched this already. And it was, and just, I must admit, every day, I still do, every day I look. I do. I'm not worried about admitting it. I think it's on 1966 because I can't.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, and I think being out there, the fact that part of my story is out there, I realise, you know, wow, people are going to get to see this, and the messages that I've been getting, and I still get, are just mind blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. So yeah, I'm really pleased. It's been played at schools now. My talk has been played as big assemblies for schools as well now, which yeah.
And I mean, and that's it really, isn't it? You know, TED's all about great ideas for sharing. I mean, the fact that it's helping children, you know, because your story was about, you know, when you were a child, you know, the fact that your mother was in the audience as well. I mean, it kind of like, it's almost like it's kind of come full circle and keeps then going into the kind of like, well, I suppose it's like the infinity, isn't it? You know, like it's helping others, and it's helping, you know, it helped you, it helps others. It was a brilliant talk. And so, apart from obviously being played and being seen by other people, I mean, 1,966 views is pretty cool, isn't it? You know, you'd have to go around quite a few people to, you know, how long would it take you to speak to 1,966 people? You know, in such a short space of time, because where are we now? We're February, so a couple of months in.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's come from having done the TEDx, you know, being able to say, you know, I'm a TEDx speaker, that's been positive for you?
What's really interesting is because when people either approach you or you see things about speaking in gigs and things like that, they'll say, have you got anything that you can show me? Now, I didn't have anything. And when I actually send them the TEDx, they're like, wow, you're a TEDx speaker. And I'm like, yeah. I am. It's great. It's great. But it's great. You know, I didn't have a show reel. I'm working on one now, and the TEDx is going to be a big part of that, because I'm really proud of to say that I've done it.
Yeah. As long as it's only 30 seconds, of course.
Absolutely. Oh yes.
TEDx rules. TEDx rules.
I know.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's just really good to be able to acknowledge the journey that I've been on, and to be able to acknowledge the help that you gave me and the support of everybody at that event. I think it's something I'll never forget. I really do believe that.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a soft spot, because obviously, you know, we've done some speaker training before, and, you know, and you're part of the Find Your Why Foundation. So it's really nice to have been part of that journey too. But I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. If anybody was out there, you know, and they were thinking about becoming a speaker, you know, or applying for TED, what would you say to them?
I would say, just say yes. You'll work out how to do it. You know, I think sometimes we let our brain talk us out of things. And I think if it's something you truly, truly want, just say yes, and you'll work it out. The people will come around you and you'll work it out. Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing your time and your journey with us. And as I said, we'll put a link to your TEDx video so we can get it even higher than 1960.
And thank you so much for everything. I wouldn't have been able to make it what it was without you, so I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. And of course, you know, for people to contact you as well, because of the amazing, great work that you do for people on this planet we call Earth. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Bye.